It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. Fellas, I want y'all to listen up to this message real nice and good and clear. If you do, you'll greatly benefit from it. And my sisters, if you listen to this message, you may find out something about yourself that you didn't know before. It's about me and my wife. Now, Abba had already separated me from the world and put some words in my mouth. And so I was preaching to my brothers. And I would invite them over to my house where I lived at the time every Tuesday, and we'd have meetings. Well, in the midst of these meetings, a lady showed up. And she wasn't there for the meeting. She was only there to meet with one of the guys that was at the meeting. But she came. And when she came, she was wearing a energy of sadness, little grief, wore down emotionally. Not outwardly, but inwardly, and a little bit outwardly. But she had no plan on speaking to me, but she came and she asked me, she said, "What is this that you're talking about and teaching and whatnot?" And I told her. And she said, "Well, what's the problem? What's got us all messed up?" Love. And I started from that moment to teach her love. That love is what was lacking. Love is what was needed. We were all lying about love. We weren't doing it truly. And at the time, she was dating a man. And because of what she was finding out, she was discovering that the man that she was with did not, could not, would not love her. It was not possible once she learned the truth. And periodically, over a few weeks, we would talk and meet. She would start coming to the meetings. Well, every now and again, I would get a text or a call from her, and she would say, "I know we meet on Tuesdays, but I got some free time today." It's Thursday. "I got some free time today. Can we meet today? Because I really want to learn more about this." And when she would come, I could see that she genuinely wanted to learn the truth. It was obvious. So as we continued these messages, she would learn more and more and more and grow and grow. Well, she was no longer with that guy because she learned the truth. She was no longer with him. So she started to work on self. But she would occasionally communicate with him back and forth, but she was breaking it off with him and moving on after what she was learning. She was starting to see that what she was learning was true about the people around her, about the guy she was dating. Well, after some time had went by, I was going to leave the city and go into another state. So before I left, and I knew that I was mentoring her or helping her, and when she had questions, she would call me or seek me out. We would hang out and talk sometimes. But I said, "I'm leaving the state." And I said, "You can come if you want to, or you can stay here and do whatever you're doing. But I'm just letting you know I'm leaving." And I told her, "Now, if you decide to come with me, just know that I love you." That's what I told her. I love you. So I don't want you to feel uncomfortable if you feel that vibration from me, if you decide to come with me. If you feel that from me, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I don't want to, come unawares. I want to say it now, before you decide to come. You understand? Building this foundation, brothers, if you're listening, of truth and love. I've already admitted I loved her because of her love for the truth, the way she would receive the truth, the way that she would sit at my feet humbly and learn from me these truths of Christ. So she says, well, I'm not comfortable with the whole us doing anything or being together. I can't even picture myself calling you baby or nothing like that. These are her words. I can't picture that. Like, I just can't even think about that. Like, I don't view you that way. I just view you as someone who knows this truth that I want to get this truth from. And I said, okay. I said, but I'm just letting you know ahead of time. So now that you know, we can move forward without any type of funny stuff or strangeness in the future. Y'all hear me? So she decides to come with me. When we leave, remember she said, I can't picture myself calling you baby and kissing you and all that. I just can't even imagine it. So no, this woman now has my child. Told you, my wife. So brothers, I want you to hear that part when she told me, before we left, she told me, I can't even picture myself calling you baby. I don't view you like that. And I want you to hear what that means about female nature. Women want what they think they want, what they feel they want. Told you, the heart has its own thoughts as well, has its own brain, you see? And it wants what it wants. But when you don't have right thought, then you end up wanting something that ain't good for you. And that's what women always get. They get a man that's not good for them because they don't know what they want. They don't know. They have to be shown it. It has to be revealed to them what the truth is, what love is. You see? Which is what she was getting from me. I'm dealing with her truthfully and lovingly. Now she's my wife, bears my child. See? So if you listen, like Christ said, to the 3D world, if I were to listen to what she told me about, I can't picture that and there's no way me and you could ever be like that, I don't view you like that, then how is today happening? If I listen to that, how is what I'm telling you today, how has it come to fruition? If what she said was true. Not that she was lying, it's just how she felt at that time. So is the old saying feelings are fleeting, is it true? I asked her one time, I said, what do you want? She says, love. I said, you got that already. She didn't know it at the time. This is before we were married, before we had a child. You see that? And she said, I ain't even feeling that idea. But now she called me daddy. You see? The same girl talking about, I don't even know how I can even call you that. Calls me it every day. Naturally, it just comes out of her. You see? Because the truth prevailed. She came out of darkness into light. She followed the light wherever he went. That's what she did with me, which is what I do with Christ. And that's why I was able to receive such a thing. Now, that's the point, brothers. If you want a godly woman, you have to be a godly man, because a good woman is given as a portion to a good man that follow Christ. Because if you don't have Christ as your head, then you aren't a man, because only man has Christ as his head. Is that not what's written? Christ is the head of man. So if there's any man that doesn't submit to Christ, he's not a man. He's a beast. So all the women that are listening to this should hear that. I don't give a damn if he got a Lamborghini truck. I don't care that he liked to trick. I don't care you got bills. I don't care you look good and you can use that to get some quick fix of money to pay your bills and get your nails done and go to the mall. I don't care. It's a lie. It's vanity. It's a waste. You're not going to find love. So your bills got to be paid. You rather have him do that than give you love? Because see, I don't work in the 3D world like that. See? Which means I don't have a Lamborghini truck. I ain't going to pay your bills. I can't pay your bills. I don't have earthly riches. I have heavenly riches. And if you want that, I'm filthy with that. I'm filthy rich with that. The valuable treasure, which is what my wife was chasing after. I want love more than anything. She proved it because she received it. She's not like these other women that say, I want love. And then when love appears, she rejects it because she doesn't know that's love. She thinks love is a feeling. Feelings are fleeting. They change, which my wife now knows about herself and admits. I could not see this. How could I go from saying I don't view this man as even being in a relationship with me to being pregnant and bearing and pushing out his child and breastfeeding his baby and everything? How is that possible if what I said I was feeling was true? See? Because that's our relationship with God. I told you that. A man that's searching after Christ and will follow him wherever he goes will have a woman who will follow him wherever he goes if she's searching for Christ. That's simple, which is truth, love. If she wants truth and love, and you have truth and love as your head, then she's found it when she's found you. Because where is Christ? Uh-huh. If he's the head of man, then he's in your head. He not outside of your head, so ain't no need to look out of there. He in there. And then he told you that's where he was at. My kingdom ain't of this world. My kingdom cometh not with outward observation. They won't, you say, look here, don't follow after them. For the kingdom of heaven cometh not with outward observation. It's within you. It's inside you. Like I said, he up in that head of yours, sitting on his throne, giving you his thoughts. So that when that woman starts asking questions and you start giving her Christ's thoughts, like I was giving to my wife, then she will follow you wherever she goes if she's truly searching after Christ. Now you got a godly woman. If you can't judge right, then you'll never have a godly woman. That's simple. It's just that simple. It's given as a portion to a certain type of man. You see that? A man that has Christ as his head. That's the only kind of man that Abba will give a good woman to as his portion. So then it makes it clear, brothers, what we all should be doing as men. And now I just gave you the proof. I gave you a synopsis of it, a quick overview, because a lot happened in between to bring us together to this place where we are now of oneness and harmony. Abba says if you have a good wife, your heart will rest and trust in her. You can rest because your heart is trusting, which means you're not paranoid, and I'm not. I'm free to do what I'm doing right now while she's doing what she's doing right now. We are free to do that and then come back together and commune again because we don't distrust one another. So then his word is true. I'm just here to bear witness to you that it is. I'm just telling you from my own experience that it is. Because I don't have any of that stuff that men think they need to find a good wife. I have one. And I'm not the only one saying she is. Many people tell me that she is, brothers. Everywhere I go, where she does some type of thing where people can see her doing what she's doing on a normal day's basis, they come to me and they say, men and women alike, you got a good woman there. I've had so many people say it to me. So out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let a thing be established. And one of the things that my wife does is when she's doing what she's doing for people, no matter what it is, when they say thank you or whatever, she always says, my pleasure. And for some reason, that strikes people. Like, it was your pleasure to do this thing for me? I'm used to people doing things for me with an attitude. Ain't that what y'all used to, brothers? Ain't that what you used to? You get done having sex with a woman, you can't even get her to get you a sandwich when you ask her to, she gets a damn attitude. Instead of, y'all get done having sex, your woman washes your body for you. You know how you feel after having sex, brothers. You be all working all hard, you all wore out, sweating, breathing all hard, laying back, about to doze off, and your woman comes with the water and the wash rag and washes your body off for you. You don't even have to move. Says, is there anything else I can do for you? As you're dozing off, with drool coming out the corner of your mouth? No, I'm good. And I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm just keeping it real. A woman that will honor you when it comes time to make a decision. She will always look over her shoulder and say, what do you say? What do you say? Abba will give you that if you chase Christ. That's simple. You reap what you sow, man, in more ways than you could imagine. You don't know you're going to get that as a gift because you're chasing after Christ. But chasing after Christ is what makes you a man. I told you, the head of man is Christ. So as soon as somebody calls themselves a man, then you got to say, who is your head? And if they have not submitted to something, they say, well, I am my own head. What do you mean? My own thoughts lead me. I lead into my own thoughts. Uh-oh, we got a problem here, Houston. That shuttle's going to crash. You hear me? But if you just do what Abba says, you won't need those worldly things to attract the woman that you actually need, a help that's right for you. I have a help that's right for me. I told y'all my lifestyle. So I need a particular woman who gives me the freedom to live that lifestyle and still love me, honor me, respect me, and reverence me. And I have it. A man that wears the same clothes every day has a beautiful, loving, kind woman that love him. That's what I'm telling you. Because she understands why I'm doing what I'm doing. She's read it herself. See what I'm trying to say to you? Christ is my head. I've showed her what Christ has showed me. And then she says, I understand. I see it. It's clear. I saw you in your house when I used to come to your meetings. You had a beautiful house, multiple cars, motorcycle, all kinds of nice clothes, all kinds of shit in that house. And I watched you give it away to the poor. That's why you have on the clothes you have today. My wife knows that. Because she watched me do it. So then she's not saying, oh, this is just some guy that just walks around with his clothes. No, I know how he got to that point. That's what you want, brother. You want a woman that's going to love you and reverence you when you're at the bottom, so that when you rise to the top, you think she's going to change or flip or stop reverencing you. Women love you and reverence you when you're poor, but now you get rich and she can't respect you no more. She loved and respected you when you couldn't pay her bill, but now you can, and now she don't respect you no more. It don't work that way, brother. It don't work that way. So I'm just here to just bear some witness to you. Abba told me to do that. He said, just speak this truth of your own life, of what you have experienced. Don't put it under a bushel. Let him know. And that's what happened, guys. My wife was attracted to me because of the words I spoke. Everything else was just extra. Everything else was just extra. It was the words. And because the word is living, I don't run out of them, which means she never gets disinterested. You hear that today, brothers? Do you hear it? Money can only do you so much before your woman is disinterested. She can only go on that private jet for the first time once. She can only get on that yacht for the first time once. And after once, it's over. You got to try to do something else once again. And eventually that's going to run out because there's nothing new under the sun. Well, not so with the living word. No matter what she's going through, you're giving her Christ's thoughts, not yours. Yours are limited. Christ is limitless. You can do all things through Christ, not through you, but through Christ. So when she sees that and learns to trust that and learns to see the fruit of it, she says, how can I doubt? And she rests. That's simple. So like I say, if you want that in your life, because there's a doctrine of demons, the scripture says, of people saying they're forbidding to marry. They're telling people not to. And you hear it out there. You hear it out there. Wouldn't I be a hypocrite if I told you guys not to marry and me, myself, I am? Wouldn't that be strange? I mean, think about it. That would be very strange if I say, don't be marrying these girls out here, but I'm married. No, that's false emulation. Paul says, I want to provoke you to righteousness, to emulation of righteousness. So if the desire of your heart is to have a helpmeet, follow Christ and he'll give it to you because he'll make you strong. He'll give you the thoughts that you need to be able to live with your wife with understanding. It stops being about you. You give your life up for your wife. See what I'm explaining to you? It's not about you anymore. It's not about you trying to be the head of anything. You just are when Christ is your head. And the only way Christ is your head, the only way you're her head is if Christ is your head. So it's a simultaneous thing that you're doing. In order to stand, you have to kneel, in other words. You hear what I'm saying? In order to rule as the head of woman, you must kneel as Christ is your head. Y'all hear that today? Salawam Israel.